means more energy, means more adventure. Pure oxygen, natural spring water infused with more oxygen to improve your energy, immunity and performance. The next generation of hydration. Pure oxygen, nature's ultimate water.
Hi everyone and welcome to the Barcast podcast. I am Salt and I'm welcoming Janelle Clarke.
Hey everybody!
Hey Janelle, she's the secretary of the Barbados Obstacle Racing Federation, BORF.
Definitely, yes.
She's the BORF secretary. She's walk by and tell people, hey, I'm secretary of BORF.
I do not.
A lot of people that even enter bar would probably competed in bar, they don't even know that there's an obstacle racing federation.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about that quickly. Not to bore the people, you know you're a lawyer, you can get really deep into it, but
Yeah, no, I guess it's more the administrative side because it's an organization. So we're just trying to establish what type of organization it's going to be. So far we've settled on a nonprofit company. So it's just really working on getting the corporation documents together. I've drafted the Constitution.
You drafted the Constitution?
Yeah, well, the Obstacle Course Federation, they sent a precedent.
Oh.
So based on that, we've drafted it.
I know you were a good lawyer, but I didn't know you were that good.
No. Trust me, I have no experience. I don't know anything about obstacle course racing or what the requirements are for it. So,
Right.
Using their precedent, we pretty much stuck to it. Just tweaked it a little bit so it fits with Barbados regulations and everything. But, working on that so far.
Yeah. How did you even get into obstacle racing, though, Janelle?
I don't even know. It just kind of happened. I think I do CrossFit.
Oh, you originally come to CrossFit, though?
Yeah, I come out of CrossFit. So I like the variety and the change that comes with CrossFit, because CrossFit's gymnastics and a tiny little bit of running, weightlifting, and all sorts of things put together. So I love CrossFit for that aspect. I think one day I was just sitting down on IG and I just saw this obstacle course race coming up. So I said, let me try and get on board with this. It looked interesting, and I asked a couple people at the box and they said no. I asked our coach at the box and she told me, why don't you speak to this person and that person? I asked them, they said yes, and then I got a team together, and then I reached out to George. He told me send the email for the information. I sent the email with all the information, and then they told me, I'm sorry, we've already reached our limit. So they said they'll keep me on a waiting list.
Right.
So, and then a couple of days before, they said, they've expanded. I think they went from 20 to 25 teams.
Right.
And that's how I actually got in. So very, very last minute. There was no preparation. There was no, knowledge. It was just like, hey, this looks like fun. Let's try it. Let's go. Pull together some people, those who were willing, and we just jumped on board.
So this is years ago when it was still done by George's host then?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Y'all were Team Day 2 then?
No, we were not. I don't think we had a name back then. I know we were trying for Obstaclers. I had submitted that, but then I got an email back that name has already been gone.
Well, I would never think that more than one person would come up with the name Obstaclers.
Yeah, Google. I can't speak for anybody else, but I Googled team names.
Right,
and I came up with that.
Obstaclers,
And I was just like, yeah, guys, let's do this. And I submitted it. And then a couple of weeks after, it's just like, yeah, that name has already been taken.
It feels as though in your early days, every time you got back a new year from bar, it wasn't really great news necessarily. It was like, oh, sorry, you can't make it. Oh, sorry, that name is taken.
Hey, yeah, it's definitely been a progression.
So then you were like, you know what? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to join the board, and that way they can't reject me.
Right? You want to be sold.
So you did it the first year, and you thought to yourself, wow, this is kind of fun.
It was so much fun. We had a blast. So then we came back, and I think coming back into it, that's, when you started to, actually set goals and, things that you want to accomplish. So that's when we became Team Day 2, because the goal at that point was, okay, guys, we want to make it to Day 2.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That was the second one then. Did y'all make it to Day 2 that time?
Not the first time, no.
Oh. You were putting it into the universe.
Yeah, we were putting it out there.
We're almost there.
Almost there, I can feel it. All right,
Look,
awesome,
who's
man.
coming, look. Those guys are down there, look.
Oh, it is Team Pop right done.
Yeah,
Let me zoom in on
Come,
this.
let's go now.
Come, guys.
Let's go.
I think that was 2019 when they actually did have 2 bar events in June and November.
Right.
So the June one we didn't make it, but for November we made it to day 2, and that was such a glorious. It was so amazing, to make it to day 2, So
we're not used to the word glorious because that has contrasting meanings here in Barbados, and that's kind of a the version of glorious for bars like that as well.
Exactly.
It's glorious, but is it glorious? I guess it's glorious.
It is.
Yeah.
That word was around way before,
So I did it, and it felt the reward. But then George came up with the idea of singles, and you also do singles.
I haven't done singles as yet.
You never do singles?
I haven't done singles as yet, no.
I swear, well, look at me embarrassing myself, but no, I swear that I've seen you doing singles. Obviously, I haven't.
I run around behind everybody cheering them on.
That's very one to get.
But I've never mustered up the courage to do singles. I actually wanted to do singles last year, but then, our next female on our team, she had a mishap 2 weeks before, and then when I finally did get somebody, she was already big ups to Heather. Yeah. She was already committed to doing the corporate challenge the same day, and I knew that she wanted to do the individual race, so I couldn't be like, okay, well, I'm gonna just step on your dream to do the individual race, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do it, and then.
Or because the reason she didn't do the individual races is because she was doing the 2 races the next day.
Yes. So I couldn't do that. So yeah.
So that still leads me to where I wanted to be, because it was going to be going from you doing singles into you just being such an encouraging and positive spirit in the bar community. How you balance that. But now you mentioned the fact that even with the Heather thing, and you thought to yourself, man, it's not going to be fair to her. She wanted to do it, and they're going to stop her from doing it, and they're not going to do it. There's all the thoughtfulness, the mindfulness. Where does that come from with Janelle?
I don't know. I think primarily the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I just try to, live a good life. I am Christian, so do have Christian, morals.
Is it a real Christian that you don't curse on Insta?
I try not to. I might curse every now and then, but I do try to,
You go to church every Sunday?
Most Sundays.
Oh, well, I did not know you said that.
Since COVID, I've been slacking off because now you can watch church on Zoom and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Okay, so you do unto others as you have them do unto you.
I think that's a really good principle to live by. So, everybody needs, kindness. Everybody needs help. People have been so kind and helpful to me in my life. So I feel like you need to pay it forward, so.
Right. You got like an American accent. I always wanted to ask you this. Where you have lived in America?
Not America. I used to live in Bermuda.
Bermuda?
Yes.
Okay. So they're almost America, but not really America. I hear they get colder.
It does. It got.
How long did you live there?
I was up there maybe almost 20 years. My father and my brother is still there.
So you born in Barbados?
I was born, yeah.
All right, so let me get about it. You born in Barbados. What age you was when you moved to Bermuda?
I was like 6.
And then you lived there for 20 years, you said?
Roughly, yeah.
So you came back only a year ago?
Yes, so I'm that young.
Right. So that's why so you really spent a lot of your formative years in Bermuda.
Yeah.
What was the experience like there then? And you think that helped shape you into the person that you are now in terms of just the same spirit and vibe that you carry?
Yeah, definitely. When you have a good support group, and a lot of my close friends are still in Bermuda, and they're uplifting, encouraging people. So it just makes life easy to be that sort of person.
You have gotten into fitness, etc. in Bermuda as well. You used to run at school. I think they never hear about Bermuda at Carifta or nice. Does he run in Bermuda? I know they do.
They produce a very excellent, well-known triathlete, Flora Duffy.
Oh.
Yeah. So, in high school, I would say I've generally always kind of been active. Not a big runner. I can't make any claims. trying to get into the running because of bar, really.
Oh.
Yeah. But you know, I played a little bit of basketball, primarily because of my best friend Tashay. She was excellent at basketball.
So you guys were doing it?
So I was just on the team, you know,
Yeah.
but that was her thing. I used to play netball. I really like netball. But yeah, I tried a lot
What
of
position you used to play in netball?
goal defense.
Oh, and it's still gonna be a little bit of aggression, you know. They can't hit you, say, because I'm a Christian, but they're gonna hit you on the court.
Yeah.
What became your friend used to play basketball? She good?
She's good. She's really good.
She still playing basketball, or she did?
Not so much these days,
Yeah.
but she went to Florida University and she played on their team. And like I touched this, she's a bowler.
She's still in the States then?
No, she's back in Bermuda.
Oh, nice,
Yeah,
nice.
but she's doing other things now. She's moved on to tennis, but you know, still basketball at heart.
Yeah, she done lawyer too?
No, she's not.
Oh, I thought you know, that's going from court to court. Or netball court.
That was good.
So 4 points for that one. Right, so you were in Bermuda and then you came back to Barbados. I don't know what your friend structure was like, would have been like here, or your family structure would have been like here then. But maybe that's how you got into the CrossFit here again, the sense of community even?
I think one thing just kind of led to another. I was at Surfside for a brief time.
Okay.
Once I started working, I was at Surfside, but then I came out of that because, you know, with work, it's kind of hard to balance going to the gym and stuff if you're not
This is
like.
when you were like a fresh into work as well?
Yeah.
Right, so you don't really want me. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Then I was doing boot camp for a little while at the gymnasium. And then one of the girls at the gymnasium, she kept talking about CrossFit. And then.
Because you know what it is about CrossFit. It's the opposite of Fight Club. You never stop talking about CrossFit.
That's true.
We just the same at bar, so
oh my goodness, yes, everything's bar.
Yeah.
So me and my friend Craig, we went to try out on a Saturday to do the demo class.
Oh, demo, was it trials? You mean you got qualified for CrossFit too?
No, we had like a little introductory class.
Right.
And that was the Saturday, and it was just like, yeah, sign me up.
Right.
And we've been doing that ever since. And so yeah, I've been doing CrossFit for a couple of years. And coming out of that, I also started to do a little bit of running, like, you know, just the leisurely runs, the ICBL, you know, all the other different little 5K runs.
You're running the entire time, or run some and walk some?
The first time I walked and ran, but then eventually I got to the stage where I ran the entire thing. Nice. So did run Barbados and everything. So
you've done run Barbados already?
Yeah.
I haven't done run Barbados.
You haven't? Assault!
No. Yeah, exactly.
I am shocked.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, big time runner like yourself?
Yeah, maybe this year.
Yeah, and this year is on the East Coast.
Should be
so
interesting.
that's going to be very interesting.
Yeah. Maybe we can set the course record.
Yeah. Go for it, man.
Yeah. So you started running, but you always say that you're not a big runner.
I'm not.
But there's something in you, Janelle, that like, even if you're not a big runner, you run and walk the race one year, the next year you're running it. Thing. Would you have worked for the entire year on your running? Or did you just go to a different mindset the next year? What would have changed you?
I think it was just finding somebody in the race, because I intended to start with the runners with the intention that I was going to walk. And then halfway through, well, probably closer to the beginning, I came across a friend and she was like, no, keep on going. And she just pushed me through to the end. And I swear I was dying because I was just like, are you finished yet? Can I stop now? And it was like the longest thing ever in my life. But like we got to the end and it was like, oh my goodness, I just ran an entire 5K, so that was like a big deal for me.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah. So yeah.
And you see, so now we're seeing what you said you were talking about with the golden rule, etc. And how people have helped you.
That's what
because
I'm saying.
That girl, there was a girl, okay?
It was a girl.
That girl helped you.
Yes.
For the entire. So maybe and because that's exactly the sort of spirit that you exhibit on the course with Barbados adventure race, obstacle course.
Yeah, definitely.
You're just always encouraging everybody. I mean, why is Janelle being so so nice.
Because people help me, and when I'm out there, people are encouraging me too as well. So I think it's just easy to reciprocate it, you know. So, and then you never know. Sometimes you're on the road running, and people might be cheering you on, and it's just like you don't need it at that point. But there's sometimes where you just hearing that you got this, or you're looking good, or just keep going.
Yeah.
It gives you a little oomph to continue. So you just
even
don't
if
know.
you're running on the road and somebody passes and gives you a little toot.
Yeah.
Just feel
Exactly.
I like how you said they started the casual runs, but now you got mountain goats almost every Saturday. You are a staunch goat.
I wouldn't say I'm a goat yet. I still consider myself a lamb amongst goats, because when they take off, they're gone, and it's just me and my Strava.
Okay, you running almost Strava. Yeah.
It's me and Strava, because I'm not that fast. I'm not on that level yet, but it's good.
What trips you going by there then?
I like the sense of adventure. I like discovering different parts of Barbados. I love stopping and taking the pictures. Sometimes it's
they're going on so high and just stopping to take pictures at the beginning of the run and sunrise.
I'm in it for the pictures. I'm sorry to disappoint all the goats out there, but I'm there for the pictures. I'm there for the adventure. Like that's what keeps me coming. So yeah.
Okay.
And then there's also that amazing sense of accomplishment,
And because those are tough runs.
They are.
You say you run a Strava, you're not up in there then, but you're coming back every week. And he says that's not for improvement. It's just you just have to get a different sense of satisfaction, and that's what George always talks about in terms of like setting your own podium.
Yeah, definitely. Well, these runs, I'm sticking with them also because of bar. A lot of things come out of bar.
Right.
Bar has brought out a lot of things. So during the year, the goal changes, but I said that running with the goats, those long distances, going up hills and everything, because bar is like a 10K, you have to get up horse hill, it's really challenging. Yeah. So I've said in my mind, like, I want to stick with the running with the goats, make that consistent, because I know what it is when like 2 or 3 months out before bar, and then you're scrambling to get back into running. For people like you who run all the time and who love it, it's easy, but I can't.
But we
that.
also don't have to scramble to get back into it 3 months away, because we are also running all the time.
Right. So this is why I'm doing it, because I want to be consistent with the running, because for me that is the challenging aspect of bar.
Right.
So it's like, let me just be consistent with this so that I'm not, struggling at the last minute to get back into it.
Right. And you found that because running never really gets easier.
Yes.
I would
I'm waiting for it to get easy, and it's just like, when?
No, right, exactly. I mean, you might be able to run the time that you were running before easier,
right?
But you're going to continually want to improve your performances, and the hill's always difficult.
Yes. Yeah, they had the hill challenge on Saturday.
You did it?
Yes.
Were you laughing?
It was so crazy. It was crazy difficult, but like I said, that sense of accomplishment at the end. Like I did it. Got through.
How long did it take you?
3 hours and 49 minutes.
Almost 4 hours clear of movement, I should say,
of movement,
and a lot of elevation. You can remember the amount of elevation it was that the challenge was?
I think it's over 1,000
feet.
Yeah, in elevation.
Wow.
I believe. I don't know. But like, you go up Spot Hill, and that's like 2 kilometers of just hill. Like you turn the corner, it's just hill, more hill, more hill, more hill. It's just like, why?
Yeah.
So
I mean, to even do that, because that's another one I have never done. So that's like, you're saying that running is not your strong point, but maybe it's going to be a strong point by December, or one of your stronger points by December 2022.
Stronger. Definitely, that would be great.
So everyone is what term your weak point? What do you say is your strength?
I think I'm pretty decent with the obstacles.
The actual obstacles themselves.
Yeah.
So. What's your favorite obstacle?
Favorite obstacle? Probably the road traverse.
The road traverse?
Yeah, it's so crazy.
It's a container, from container to container.
Yeah. And I was looking back at some, on IG today.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, the first time that we did that, like, I got halfway through and then I fell off.
Right.
I couldn't do it, and I'm struggling and I'm pulling, and you can see my face grimacing, and it's so tragic. And
I fell off the rope. I fell off the freaking rope.
Like at the end.
Alright.
At the end, right?
At the end, shame, disgrace.
But don't worry.
Just cut.
We
cut,
still made it.
cut.
We still-
I can't do this anymore.
It's just like last year in November, like I was able to just pull myself all the way across. So
Yeah.
when you look back and you realize like how much you've been able to accomplish and like how you've been able to improve, it's like, oh wow, this is nice.
Yeah. I do like the rope trick first. What is your least favorite obstacle? And do not say the tire wall.
Oh yeah, terrible.
Because I think that's everybody's immediate go-to. But I think well, George lowered it this year.
Yeah.
For the individuals, so yeah. But
Yeah, so-
you don't have to do that in the team anyways.
Yeah, no. That would be
Right.
the individual. The worst obstacle probably is that slush pipe.
But yeah, that's a
Yeah.
carry. But
Yeah.
that is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That, and because of where that is placed in the
Going up that little incline and coming
it's also
down.
at the end.
Yeah.
It's after all of
Yeah.
the obstacles. I
Yeah.
think it's only the whatever last obstacle he has there.
Right.
And then they got the rope climb. But that's so late down the race that everybody's already cramping. It's really starting to get on your mental then. You start to really
Yes, yeah.
find out about yourself.
Yeah. You have to dig deep to get through those things. So,
You find that bar has been helping you to find out about yourself though? What has bar taught you about Janelle?
perseverance. Perseverance and just putting in the hard work. You really have to dig deep, and it's really overcoming that desire, that voice inside you that's telling you stop. Like, I'm not doing this. I can't do this, and it's just like,
You get that voice?
what? It involves running. So yes, I get that voice from beginning to end. Like, I don't think you understand how I feel about running.
I can't catch you.
Running for me is more of a, it's not so much a physical challenge, it's more of a mental challenge. From the time I start, can I stop now, Janelle? Okay, we're gonna get to that pill. Can I stop now? Okay, Janelle, can we stop? It's that constant, can I stop?
Yeah, I'm learning.
When can I stop? Are we going to stop now?
Right.
So that that's what happens with me when I run.
We spend so much time talking about your positive attitude, but what's really coming out as well though is your perseverance and your approach to difficult situations in life or challenges or things that you don't necessarily like.
Right.
Where does that come from? Is that's genetic, that's from your parents, that's from your upbringing, that's from, because then obviously you would have gone and studied law and all that kind of stuff. So that's also a challenging environment.
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
I would say my upbringing, my parents, my dad. My dad, he's very encouraging, very, very encouraging and very supportive of.
You still hear him a lot?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I find that and just being Janelle.
Yeah, I guess so.
Does Janelle have a single competitive bone in her body?
I know George has been poking at me every time I'm at bar. He's like, "Come on, Janelle, let's go. Beat Rhonda. Beat this person. Beat that person." It's like, George, leave me alone.
Let's beat somebody, Janelle.
I know, right? Yes, I have a competitive bone in my body, but I think more so, I guess I'm more about just having fun, having a good time. Mm-hmm. So I'm unfortunately not the most serious competitive person out there.
You were looking good at the Bar Fest at the
Barfit Games.
The Barfit Games, yeah. You came third. Congratulations.
Thank you. First time on the bar podium.
Yeah, look at you on the first time doing an individual event. Should have been doing it every Saturday.
Man, I can tell you this year. I'm in this individual.
Maybe,
Yeah.
How was that event for you? Did you train hard for it, or did it just all come together on the day? What?
I wouldn't say I trained hard for it, but I did put in some training for it, and I'm very grateful that I did, because the first time I did those walking lunges with the weights. Yeah. About 2 days later. Oh my god, my legs, my glutes, my hamstrings, everything was screaming. So that really, I really felt that. So I was glad that at least 2 weeks beforehand I was able to go through that sort of pain.
Right.
Because it didn't hurt as much when I finished the actual Barfit Games.
Right.
So yeah, we did run through the
and the bronze medal is also made all the soreness go away.
That's true.
So yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But you actually had you were competing on the day. You weren't just
Did I?
yeah. For once, Janelle was not smiling all the time. George, that's what George said. For once, you weren't smiling. You did smile. You were
Right.
smiling, but not. It wasn't consistently throughout the entire. Because even at the pop-ups or whatever, Janelle just. I'm not at pop-ups at the workouts. Janelle just, and it's just because I think that's one of the things that we try to get out to people because. All the people that are doing bar are coming out and doing the workouts per se, and necessarily looking to pull in. A lot of people get different things from the bar experience, and I think you were one of the people that embodied a fun experience. And you come to the workouts, etc. You just have fun because you enjoy them.
Right, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
So for people out there that say, man, them out there fast or they're strong, or whatever, what would you tell them?
I would tell you just come out and try it. I mean, you just don't know the extent of what your body's capable of unless you put yourself in that circumstance. And the thing about when you do the training is that you get stronger, you get faster, you get better. Like, you know, when I started some of these obstacles, I couldn't get through all of them, you know, but as you put in the work and you do the training, and George makes it so easy because, you know, coming up to bar, he's going to have like weekly classes at Surfside where you're getting to try all the skills and master all of that. You know, at Peg Farm, you know, there are going to be lots of opportunities to actually develop those skills, develop what the strength that you need to get through it. So I would say don't listen to that voice inside your head. Yeah, turn that voice down and just say, I'm going to go out there and try it. Like, you know, you don't have anything to lose. You try it, and if it doesn't appeal to you, then at least you know you've tried. But if you go out there and you try it and you have a good time, and the community at bar is like so supportive and so encouraging,
I think so as well.
like it just makes it so much fun. Even though you're dying, you're struggling.
Not actually dying. You're speaking to people that have not convinced us yet.
I'm sorry. Let's withdraw that. You can cut that part out.
Secretary of Bob, so you're going to die.
No. Even though you may be struggling a little bit, or you know, glowing or sweating as you do the workout, you know, you're with people who are gonna encourage you and lift you up, and you know, you're all in it together. So it really does make it that much better.
And at the end, I think that's what keeps me going, and I'm quote unquote dying, is that I know that 2 minutes after. And you lay down there and you think back to the last half hour to hour of the like, wow, I just did that.
Yeah, definitely.
And it makes all of the soreness, the pain and everything, the exhaustion just fade away because it just gets replaced by glory. You mentioned something there that I'm going to soon get you out of here, Janelle, but we talked about your favorite obstacle. We talked about usually the rope traverse. Your least favorite, no, it's not obstacle, but least favorite thing about margin slash pipe. But what's your most improved obstacle? What's the obstacle that at one point in time you said to yourself, I'm never going to get this? I know you think, I'm pretty good at this.
I think it would have to be the same rope traverse.
Rope traverse.
Because when I first did that, like, and we hadn't had a lot of time to practice on it. We didn't have any time to practice on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I looked at that video today, I was just like, wow.
This is the first time. This is the first time we got it down St. John.
Yes.
Oh right.
Yeah,
You went
yeah.
halfway across. You said
Yeah, halfway across, and even to get to that halfway point, it was so much pain. I was struggling. I remember struggling, and then I fell upside down, and then I was still climbing, and then my hands just gave way. And I just collapsed to the ground.
And that was the end of your bar experience that year?
No. We got somebody else up one.
So I'm more capable.
I was the man on the container, and he got across.
Yeah.
So, but if it was left up to me, yeah, that would have been the end of it for us.
But no, you're a sure shot for you.
Yeah, I'm not boasting. I'm not saying I'm great at it.
It's a really fun obstacle as well, though.
Yeah.
Especially if your rope is a little wet.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about bar, right? Because you want that rope to be a little wet, but you don't want the rope climb to be too wet because you understand, you don't want for the grips or whatever, but the rope for the rope traverse, you get a little less friction.
Yeah. Rope climbing on a wet rope is. Oof.
You get the rope climbing done well now too, though.
Yeah. I like rope climbing
But
as
that's
well.
a CrossFit background.
Yeah.
So you brought that with you.
Yes.
You brought that skill with you. Okay, Janelle Clarke, Secretary of Barf. I want to thank you so much for joining us on the Barcast podcast today. Before you get you out of here, are you going to be doing Coast to Coast?
I am. We are
ready?
We are signed up, and I wouldn't say ready to go, but we're signed up.
If your team has not registered as yet for the Bar Coast to Coast, get on to BarbadosAdventureRace.org and register your team right now. Teams of 4. We're providing the support vehicle, not with me, George. But yeah, they're providing the support vehicles this year. So you're just going to get your team of 4. 2 girls and 2 boys for you?
2 girls and 2 boys.
Nice. And Jamie with you again?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And so is the course you've been doing any training for that? Did you do that last year?
I did. We didn't do it last year.
Why did you do it last year?
Because it looked like madness last year. It still looks like madness.
So what made you want to do it this year then?
Because having spoken to people who got through it, you know, it didn't seem as torturous on the body as I thought it was going to be. So
you spot her wrong, didn't you?
You gotta speak to the right people.
She's not gonna put you wrong like that.
Exactly. So yeah. So and now that I've actually done that distance, it's like okay, well, yeah.
You've done that distance?
Well, the hill challenge was 21 kilometers.
Oh.
So
I did not realize that. When you see part of the hill challenge, the difference between the hill challenge and the course to course is that we only going up hills at the beginning. With course to course, the hill challenge is just all hills.
Yeah, definitely.
So you know that you can manage to move for 21 kilometers just to move it.
Yeah.
I guess it's about strategy then.
Yes.
Is there any of the training that's going to be going on coming up to the coast to coast?
Yeah, we haven't started it yet, but the intention going forward, now that, got past that, is to refocus to coast and to start doing the training with George on Saturdays.
Yeah.
So yeah, the lifts and carries and just, get yourself comfortable with the implements, the sandbag.
I feel like if George does that, if we should do 2 classes so you could go and do run with the goats at 5:30 and then come on down to George's class at 8.
That's right.
That's goals,
we want to have some energy.
This was really fun.
Yeah, it was good talking to you, man.
Yeah, see, I didn't tell you it was not going to be that difficult.
I was so nervous.
Thank you for joining us on the Barcast podcast. Thank you for being a part of the family, the Bar tribe, and it's being a positive influence all the time. It's a positive spirit, always encouraging everyone. It's like everybody's not big sister on the course. You can always lean on Janelle. So thank you, Janelle, for even if you can't find a guest for the podcast, she's your person.
Oh, well, thank you to you for having me, you and George for organizing this, and thank you to the Bar Tribe for being so, welcoming and making it easy to be a part of that community. So, and all the supporters, everybody who comes out, all those who organize and, help put these events together. Like, it really is a whole community. So, big shout out to everybody.
All right, man. Thank you very much. That's been it for the Barcast podcast. I want to thank you so much for watching or listening. Remember, you can subscribe, like, comment, share. Make sure everyone who has any inkling of an interest in bar that you tell them all about it, and make sure never, ever stop talking about bar.
More oxygen means more energy, means more adventure. Pure Oxygen, natural spring water infused with more oxygen to improve your energy, immunity and performance. The next generation of hydration. Pure Oxygen, nature's ultimate water.